is getting worse, more active and more violent. It's a cluster of attacks that took place in northwest London and reached their peak around December and early January.
Can you tell me the way to Wembley, please?
Yeah, you need Kenton Road Tube. You go straight up Briar Road, turn left, up the hill to Kenton Station, and then Wembley's just a couple of stops.
Thank you very much.
Stop! Stop! Stop!
2 days later, and 500 yards away,
a man grabbed hold around my neck. I was struggling and I was screaming, but he was too powerful and he pulled me out and he threw me to one side.
It's gone. I was attacked. This man, it just came out of the bushes. My handbag was in the car.
Come inside then. We'll sort it out inside.
the car he'd taken was a white Volkswagen Jetta. Do you know anyone who suddenly acquired a motor like this for a couple of days in mid-December? The next night, Sunday evening, he turned up in nearby Southall.
My immediate reaction was just to try and get away from him. I was just really scared that he was going to jump into the car.
In her panic to escape, she crashed. Meanwhile, the stranger, having grabbed her handbag, leapt into his own car and drove off.
I was just very frightened for both my safety, but mainly for my unborn child. I was only about 10 weeks pregnant.
The man plainly knows the district, Harrow, Wembley and Southall, including the back streets. An hour later, that same Sunday night, and about 15 minutes away, is Church Lane in Kingsbury, and a minicab driver was searching for a fare. Having gone off with the cabbie's Volvo estate, the thief left behind the now battered, stolen Jetta. It had obviously been involved in a heavy collision front and back. It was almost a write-off from the damage to the front. Who or what had he hit? 20 minutes later, and about 2 miles away, there was a third attack that night, this time in Windermere Avenue in Wembley. He made off with another handbag after wresting it from a mother, as her young children looked on. A month later, he surfaced again in Croxley Green near Watford. This was out of his usual patch, and much earlier in the day than before. Around 5 p.m, this man was caught on CCTV at Croxley Green Station. Who was he? Is it coincidence the attacks are all close to the Metropolitan Line tube?
I was going over for a meal, so I left home. When I got in the car, I just had a couple of diaries and a box of chocolates on the seat and my handbag, and I thought, no, I must put my handbag under my seat, so I did. Looking forward to going to see the family.
Hey! Drive.
No!
Drive!
No! Ow! Help me, someone, please help me! What's happening? He's taking my car.
Oi, what do you want to die?
Get help, please, get help.
How'd you get this in gear?
I wasn't going to tell him. I knew I wasn't going to tell him how to start it. I hoped he'd just go away.
How'd you get it started?
Go away. Can't you see what a state she's in? Go away.
I've always brought up right and wrong, and I've always tried to recognise both. And I can't understand sometimes how people can't see that things are wrong.
On this attack in January, he had a moustache and a goatee beard. He's in his 20s or early 30s, light-skinned Afro-Caribbean, around 6 foot tall. If you've any suspicions, or if you know anybody like him, if you think you've encountered him, or if you know anyone who acquired a Jetta, a Volvo or BMW earlier this year, call us on 0500 600 600 or the incident room on 0181 733 3121. That's 0181 733 3121.
3 months ago, credit cards were stolen from British Steel offices in Rotherham, South Yorkshire, and just 12 minutes later they were used in Rotherham town centre. Then in quick succession in Worksop and then in Mansfield. Here's the man we're looking for, trying hard to look like an honest businessman. He's around in his mid-20s, around 5'10", slim. The free call number here is 0500 600 600, or you can ring the incident room on 01709 832 757. That's Rotherham, 832 757.
Well, following up with what Nick said earlier about the Brixton calls, several calls on that, some very good ones. Some people were seen on a roof in Brixton on the day with binoculars, but obviously we don't know whether they were connected or not. Many calls giving us details about where the nails can be bought, centering on pound shops, so we don't really want any more calls on that. On the murder of a Swedish tourist, well, we had one person on the bus has come forward, also a lady who claims to have been assaulted on the same bus route, but we haven't had a call yet from that crucial black cab driver. David, over to you on your
Yes,
cases.
on that B&Q knife robbery, Jill, we've had a handful of calls, but some very good quality. 3 names have been suggested. 2 of them allegedly have links to that jacket that we showed, and are believed to have owned jackets like that, and also another call has given a possible source for the jacket. And then we've had a couple of good calls too on that HMV credit card fraudster, possible other offence, and also an officer who's called in thinks he knows who it is. So that one's very promising.
And many names as well given on those Southampton serial rapes, and 2 girls believe that they may have been victims of the same man. So your calls really do count as a result, and a Crimewatch file shows that next week. Wanted explores the investigation which caught the man responsible for a series of attacks on old people in South Wales. His violence led to the death of 90-year-old Enid Poole.
I was actually a custody sergeant in the police station when Salter was arrested 2 or 3 years previously.
You fat English bastard!
Yeah, he was drunk, acting suspiciously round that old folks' complex.
He'd obviously previously been doing something of a similar nature in Worcester years before, but obviously not to the violent degree that he'd been doing it in South Wales.
Find out more on Crimewatch File next Wednesday, the 28th of April at 10:15 on BBC One.
Now, 8 years ago on Crimewatch, we showed a couple who were wanted in a fraud inquiry. A viewer's call led to a flat in Birmingham where these photographs were discovered, along with tickets for Concorde and the QE2. This is Stephen Lowe as he looked in the early 90s, and this is his boyfriend, Wayne Cope. Since then, there's been a whole string of incidents which make us, and many ruined individuals, very keen to see Messrs Lowe and Cope again. Stephen Lowe, if he's still calling himself that, is 46, and he may have aged a bit. He's 5'10" with short dark brown hair, and he usually wears glasses. Wayne Cope is 35. He too may look older and also uses different names. He's smaller at 5'6", slim, and has short wavy brown hair. If you've any idea where either of these two are, give us a call on 0500 600 600 or 01234 275 328. That's Bedford, 275 328.
A quick reminder of the faces we've shown you so far tonight. The man who carried out a terrifying robbery in Waterloo in London. Mohammed Shabir, who's wanted in connection with the rape of a 15-year-old girl in Lancashire. Gary Warner, police want to question him about a series of burglaries. And this man wanted for robbery. There's a reward of £5,000 if you can help convict him. If you've information on any of these or any other cases we've shown tonight, call us now.
We've been very busy, so if you can't get through, don't worry, we'll be here until midnight. 0500 600 600. Other numbers on CFAX, page 621. You can email us at crimewatchuk@the BBC, and on any case, call Crime Stoppers anonymously if you want, on 0800 555 111. If you've been a victim and you'd like to talk to someone at Victim Support, there'll be people there until 2 in the morning, and the number is 0845 30 30 900.
Join us for the update, about half an hour now, 11:30. If you can't stay up till then, next month's Crime Watch is on Tuesday, the 18th of May. And with all the help that's coming in tonight, and there is a lot of it, and of course with crime on the decline, Don't have nightmares, please. Sleep well. Night-night.